Seong Gi-Hun, Seong Gi-Hun. It's something when you're dealing with a hero who can genuinely back up what he or she says, like, I'm gonna take you down, villain, and you're actually like, oh shit, they might be actually able to take me down. This guy is not that type of person. He's someone who's playing at being a hero. He's role playing the little pathetic hero game, and he doesn't even get fucking close to achieving it. I can't even think about this character's life story without bursting out into laughter because honestly, guys, I don't think that a character has ever been more pathetic in all my years of watching and consuming and reading fiction. That might be a bit of a stretch to say. I've sure come across some pathetic characters, but god damn is Seong Ji-hoon near the top of that list. I mean, let's get right into it, guys. I don't even want to stall or like delay any longer because like I have a lot I want to say about this dude. Like this guy is a failed husband, a failed father, a failed son, a failed gambler, a failed Squid Game player. What do I mean by that? You're about to find out. A failed everything, and especially with the release of season 3, like there is absolutely nothing I can say that would make this guy look good if I was even interested in defending him because holy shit, he achieves nothing. He fucking achieves nothing, dude. He spends 3 years building up this massive armory, purchasing guns, buying a motel, getting this private base with the blood money that, by the way, he should have spent on his family. He should have returned home to his daughter and been like, hey, daughter, I made all this money. I'm no longer a poor loser. Can you come back and live with Korea with me? But no, instead he's like, I gotta stop the games. I gotta stop the games because they're so evil and mean. And, I'm the superhero. I'm the good guy. Sure, yeah, whatever. Live in your own delusions, dude. I mean, that's how most heroes get by anyway. They're delusional pricks who don't understand when to give up. But, like, you're a special case because at least when most heroes commit to stopping an evil organization, they succeed. Captain America stopped Hydra. All Might crushed All for One's criminal organizations. Luke Skywalker destroyed the Empire. What did you achieve against the Squid Game organizers? Let me think. Nothing. Dude, it's not like even the Izuku video where I'm entirely angry. Like, yeah, I am annoyed because he's a morally self-righteous, idiotic prick, but I'm also just like a bit jovial because of how pathetic he is. Oh my god. I'm fucking coughing because of how hard I'm laughing. Look, this guy, you have a daughter, dude. What are you doing in the Squid Games? You won before. You won before. Why are you even in the fucking games again? You have a daughter, you fucking loser. Go back to her with the millions you made. You piece of shit. Why are you there? You have 466, 556, 400, sorry, $456 million. No, most people will never see half that money in their lifetimes, a quarter of that money, a percentile of it. And what do you decide to do with it? You decide to waste it all on a quest you don't even succeed at. Oh. Oh man, you're really special, Seong Ji-hoon. You're really special. In the season 2, like when all the contestants are getting their pictures taken and he looks all determined, like, I'm gonna take down your game, Frontman. I'm gonna bring it down. And then for the next several episodes, he does nothing but watch as more contestants die. And when he finally gets the opportunity to stop some of the carnage, like, when the X team is like, all right, guys, let's go home. Let's vote our way home. And then the O team who wants to continue the games are like, okay, we gotta murder the X team so we can continue the game. And then the X team, has the option of defending themselves and maybe killing some O players on the process. Seong Ji-hoon instead tells everyone, you know what? Let's just let half our team die. Half the people who want to go home and don't want to be a part of this game anymore. Let's just let them get massacred. And instead, we're gonna go on and try and do a rebellion against the Squid Game organizers by stealing their guns and storming their base. Dude, weren't you the one who was like, I should save as many people as possible. I'm hiring this team of mercenaries. I'm hiring the private detective. I'm even hiring the people who were my fucking loan sharks, which what the fuck is up with that, by the way? But sure, you do you, buddy. And you hired all these people, this fucking coalition to stop the Squid Games. And what do you do with it? You get them on a wild goose chase because your plan to put a tracker in yourself was immediately recognized and foiled and you were just left on the island to play the games normally like you did last time and to risk your life every single fucking day. Meanwhile, they were led on an aimless goose chase and with a captain who was a traitor, by the way, who was just working for the front man the whole fucking time. And no one ever suspected the private detective, the detective guy, In-ho, I think his name is. Yeah, In-ho. No, wait, In-ho's the name of the front man. I think it's Junho. That's his name. Anyway, that guy, I will make a separate video on him soon. Don't worry. He is not free. He is not getting out of this unscathed. But like Seong Gi-Hun eclipses him because he actually went through the same experience twice and learned basically fuck all from it. Um, I find it really funny how in season three this dude blames Dae-Ho for the failed rebellion because he failed to deliver the magazines for the rebels, and it's just like, dude. Not only would the plan not likely have worked anyway, but you're fucking murdering other players now because you're deciding who gets to live and who gets to die. I'm gonna get back to this point later in the video, but holy shit, how fucking hypocritical, asshole! Oh, suddenly you get to be the arbiter of who lives and who dies, so you're literally no better than the Squid Game organizers then. You're no better than the rich elitists, but no better than Chairman Oil Nam, no better than the front man in deciding who gets to continue on and who gets to perish, because you're suddenly the arbiter of everything that is good in the world. Are you though, buddy? Are you? Because from what I've seen, you're a fucking pathetic loser, no-name, homeless piece of shit idiot who can't even scrabble $2 together for his own butter. You're useless. Did it ever occur to you once? Did it ever go through your mind once about how useless you are? Seriously? I'm imagining it didn't because you clearly so righteously and fanatically continue on with your quest like it was going to achieve anything when you've literally done nothing. You at the end of season three, all that happens is that the island itself gets blown up and the Squid Game organizers just move shop. I mean, they probably don't host it in South Korea anymore, so congrats, but like overall, the Squid Games continue unimpeded. The front man gets away with it. All the pink guards get away with it. All the rich people financing it get away with it. What did you do? What did you do? You got every single player in the 34th, 37th game except that stupid fucking baby killed. I'm sorry, but like not only are you a failure of a protagonist, but you're also an active detriment to those around you. And I don't say that lightly because when at the start of the games, you were like, okay, I got to save everyone. I got to get everyone off this island. And initially, you were kind of successful. You know, that weird woman was killed because during the fucking game, a red light, green light. But afterwards, you were like on the up and up. You were getting people to vote X and trying to get them to leave, even if the money hungry people on O team were like, oh, let's continue the games. Let's all kill ourselves. But you were like, no, 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 we gotta get out of here. We gotta get off this island. But then suddenly, after the rebellion fails, you turn into this dark, brooding, evil motherfucker who just wants to ensure that only the people who deserve to live, quote unquote, get to escape off this fucking island. And what do I mean by that? Well, the final game in season three, the Sky Squid game, where one person per platform has to be pushed off, you suddenly decide instead of giving up the baby or going for the lunchbox plan that the O team members kind of devised, like Player 100 and his goons kind of devised that so they can all get off the island safely. You decide to fucking let them all die, including Myung-gi. And I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you and say that Myung-gi is a good person. He's a deadbeat father too. Which actually, by the way, you should have been friends with him. Why weren't you friends with him? I mean, you and him had a lot to discuss. I mean, you and him had a lot in common. But I guess in the end, your hypocrisy shone through one last time because you still thought you were the fucking good guy because you were protecting my baby. Oh, the stupid fucking infant toddler who should have been killed the moment he came out of Jun-Hee's fucking hole. But no, I gotta protect the baby. Oh, I'm a hero. I'm a good guy. And yeah, you get everyone in the final game killed. Like there was around like 7 to 8 players, I think, at the very end. Every single one of them, except the non-sentient toddler who didn't even know what the fuck was going on around it, died. Dude, oh my god. You have any shame. Oh my god, I'm coughing because of how hard I'm laughing. You got your best friend killed over a failed rebellion when you could have all just left the island by voting X. You could have just killed a few of the attacking O team members as a sort of recompense, and then with the difference in the players, you could have just pressed X, and the organizers would have been like, "Ah, shit. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles. Maybe next year," and they just would send you all home because they said we would agree to this condition. The front man is an honorable man; he would agree to this condition. I mean, but no, instead you gotta teach these rich folks a lesson. By the way, you are one of those rich folks. You took their blood money, by the way, and you did spend it. It's not like you're completely free of guilt either with regarding the blood money spending. I mean, you have this whole fucking stack of Scarface Breaking Badass like a cash like in this motel that you bought a bunch of armaments, and you're hiring all these mercenary fucks who, by the way, they all just get mowed down. I know you weren't there for that, but hey, if you can hear me in the fires of hell, Gihun, all the mercenaries you hired, they were gunned down by the ship captain who was a traitor. Give a big round of applause, everyone. Round of applause for Seong Gi-Hun here, man of the fucking year, who couldn't even get his mercenaries to the island. Congratulations, buddy. Wow, you did so good, man. You did so good. You did so good because you reminded us all why it's good to not pretend you're a hero. You killed Kang Dae-Ho. Why? It's not like he was responsible for the failed rebellion. Sure, he could have delivered the magazines. What then? You guys would have secured the island? Even in the very small, minute case, you guys would have secured the island. You wouldn't even be able to fucking do anything because all the rich people weren't there yet. And all the backers weren't there yet, and you still would have been stuck on this fucking island. How would have you gotten home? Would you have contacted the Coast Guard? Okay, are you gonna explain to them what you're doing with a bunch of like guns and like you're all like unstable, and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna explain to them? I mean, I'm just making up hypotheticals. I'm sure he would have thought of something, and I'm sure it would have failed really miserably, and I would have laughed even harder. But I'm glad that his rebellion failed because it showed how fucking terrible of an fucking person he was. He's a bad person. Jihun is not even a good person, dude. He steals money from his mom to bet on horse racing. And then he's like, humans are not horses. Humans are humans. I'm a person. That's why I can't forgive you, Frontman. I'm gonna take down your games. Proceeds to do nothing. What happened to the games? Jihun, tell me what happened to the games. Oh, you don't want to respond? Okay, that's fine. I'll just tell everyone. Nothing happened! Dude, your daughter hates you. You're a fucking loser. Go home. Someone should have been when he said like I played these games before. Yeah. Everyone listen to me. Someone should have been like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? Why aren't you at your house? You know, I mean, no one knew there that he had a family, most likely, but someone like that, like a friend man, should have been like, dude, go home. You have a fucking wife and a child, and you've not seen them for 3 years because you've been preparing to storm the island with weapons that didn't even work because you know what? All the people wielding them are dead. Dead, buried. And you know, when the private detective did get to the island and see the front man escape with that stupid, god awful, annoying ass baby, worst plot point in the entire franchise, he didn't do anything. He just let him escape because he lowered his gun. Maybe because he saw the baby and he's like, if I shoot the front man, the baby will die. But like, enough people had died. Enough people have died for that awful fucking baby, dude. You got everyone on X team killed. Even in the first season, I mean, you were kind of showing your pitiable traits because you know you somehow won. OL Nam took a bit of pity on you because he's like, wow, this guy really is a fucking loony bin. Maybe I should take just the smallest bit of pity on him. And you know, I'll invite him after he hasn't touched his fortune for a year. You haven't touched your money for a year. A year. Oh my God! Ji-Hun! Seong Gi-Hun, my man! You have a family. What are you doing in the Squid Games? You have a wife and daughter. You got caught. You got Omega caught. Your wife probably doesn't even think of you anymore. She's getting railed by another man. Your daughter hates you. Your legacy is gone. You would have no more imprint on this world. The fucking front man had to deliver your remaining prize money to her. The front man, your nemesis, the guy who is sworn to kill you. He had to deliver your money, your blood money, and your tracksuit for some reason. I don't know why he did that, but he had to deliver your cash to her because you couldn't be man enough to do it yourself because you had to spend it on a failed endeavor. I need to point out how terrible the rebellion idea was, by the way, because during it, Inho, who's disguised as one of the players, is like, so we're gonna sacrifice a few players for the greater good of stopping the games. And Ji-Hoon's like, yeah. Everyone else, by the way, they're all just fucking brain dead apes. They all just like agree to this for some reason. And then once the plan fails, they do not have the votes to stop the games because the O team is left numerous. And when an X player, after the rebellion succeeds initially, aims his gun at the O team to try and kill them, he's like, no, there can be no more killing of players. But then, and during the season finale or the series finale, you let a bunch of the O players die because now you say, oh, you don't deserve to win. You don't deserve it. Someone shouldn't be sacrificed so you can win the games because you don't deserve that prize money. Excuse me. Weren't you the one who stopped the X team players from massacring the O team players last season on your failed rebellion? Now you're like, oh, they don't deserve it. Bit too fucking late, buddy. Bit too late. Maybe I should have had that mindset before, so that even when the fucking Squid Game organization resecured the island and like either killed or arrested all the rebels and put them back in the fucking gaming room or the where the player room is, they we could have just voted to leave. But no, guess what? It's too late. And now it's season 3 when every single X player besides yourself is dead. fucking dead, rotting corpse. I don't know how hard I could emphasize this. Now you decide who gets to live and who dies. You fucking piece of shit. You awful fucking hideous subhuman retard creature. You fucking idiotic void beast. You lurking worm. You wretch. You fucking piece of bacteria. You're a bacteriophage. You're a parasite. Another great piece of media made in South Korea, by the way, Parasite. So make sure to check that out sometime, guys. It's really good. But you're a parasite, Seong Gi-Hun. Like, you are a parasite. You are actively someone who gets the people around you killed. All for what? Your little hero game? I'm gonna show you, Frontman, that the world doesn't go the way you want it to. The world goes exactly how the Frontman wants to. He gets away with everything. Hmm. I guess in the end, the world didn't go how you wanted it to go, Jihoon. Just because someone helped an old man when, old homeless man when Oil Nam was dying does not mean that suddenly the goodness of humanity will prevail and that superheroes are real and that you have the power to somehow stop a criminal organization that's been going on for decades. You need to like really dial it back, except it's a bit too late for that because you're dead. All that, and you also died. You could have won the prize money again, by the way. You could have gone home. You could have dropped that baby into the fucking abyss and actually gone home to your daughter and been not so much a petulant failure of a man for once, but instead that awful lump of crying flesh one. Oh, oh man, I better that baby better not grow up to be as pathetic as you or that. I mean, imagine if that baby grew up to be a terrorist or a serial killer or something. That's all on you, by the way, Ji-Hoon. Imagine if Junhee's baby grew up to be like a murderer who used all the money that was given to her at birth to like fucking purchase supplies and like hideouts to become a serial killer and hide bodies. Wow, how shitty must you feel then, rotting in hell, huh? How much shitty would your spirit feel then, buddy? Dude, don't be a hero. Don't follow Seong Ji-Hoon's example if you're watching this, because this guy has no idea what the fuck he's doing. This guy is what to describe someone like you. There's, I think I've gone over pretty much every major point as to why he's such a worthless, like this worthless piece of trash. He's a protagonist that's actually kind of fun to watch because it's a bit entertaining about how badly he fails and how much he doesn't want to admit it. During the whole Kang Dae-Ho mini arc, when he was just staring daggers at Dae-Ho, and Dae-Ho was like, "It's not my fault. It's not my fault." Like, don't get me wrong, Dae-Ho is a pathetic coward. I mean, of course he is. I mean, he should have delivered those magazines because it would have been cool. It would have been awesome. I like seeing people get gunned down and die. But at that point, it was legitimately not his fault. When Dae-Ho said it's your fault as he was dying, he was actually correct because Gihun, it is your fault. That rebellion plan was fucking nonsense. It was nonsense. It was a shock that you succeeded so far. Actually, I don't think if In-Ho, as the front man, wasn't disguised as a player throughout the fucking Squid Games season 2 and 3, no, actually just season 2, you guys wouldn't have even gotten that far in your fucking little rebellion hero game to begin with. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that you convinced all those people to join with you on that fucking parade of nonsense because they all died directly because of your efforts. They all died being put through the games. That old like mom, the mom who was in the games was like, "I'm still here. I still fervently believe you're here. You believe you're here to save us all." She was coping. She was coping just like you have been your entire life. You are not here to save anyone. You are here to get people killed. And then you're here to stare longingly into the camera thinking, "Oh, I'm going to stop you." And then you're going to stare at all the rich people and you're like, humans are, and then you get shot dead. You don't even get to finish your sentence. The last part of your life that you could have fomented any use out of, you fucking die. You die before you can even do it. You ended up with all the money and all the power that you built up over those 3 years in the sole purpose of stopping the games. You ended up being a powerless player yet again, and this time you didn't even make it out. You died. You got eliminated. And guess what? The front man isn't even swayed. I mean, they kind of focused on him for a little bit, thinking, oh, maybe the front man will realize he has to stop the games. But no, the games are continuing just fine in Los Angeles. So congratulations. Another big round of applause for Ji-Hoon, everybody. Just what a wonderful guy. I mean, he failed doing that worker strike at Dragon Motors. He failed in his businesses. He failed as a son. He failed as a husband. He didn't give enough attention to his wife. He failed as a father. And he failed as a friend because he gets all his friends brutally murdered, and he failed as a rebel because his rebellion was literally rigged from the start to fail. And when he realizes that, he just throws a temper tantrum and kills the person he thinks is responsible, which is Dae-Ho, even though it really is himself. So thankfully, he does actually do one useful thing. I stand corrected. He killed himself. which in the end, that was the only righteous thing you could have done, Ji-Hoon. But unfortunately, suicide is a sin, and now you're going to the ninth circle, where you belong. Oh my God. It's good to just let loose every once in a while. Oh my. All right, everybody. This has been fun. Oh man, this has been really fun. I don't think I can say any more about Seong Gi-Hun without repeating myself any more than I already have. So thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Kurosky Von Kronos episodes and have a good one. And remember, don't be a hero because it's just a waste of time and you'll get everyone around you in a similar terrible position as yourself. And no one wants that. All right, adios.